All right, Battletech enthusiasts, we are working our way through some mech reviews here. I'm sharing with you my thoughts and experiences of using various mechs on the table, and we're going to see with some of these ideas how we can utilize them in building lances. Taking a look at the Battlemaster. Now, is there a more iconic mech in the game? I feel like the Battlemaster visually is up there along with the Warhammer, with the Phoenix Hawk, the Marauder. It's in the DNA of Battletech. Tactically on the tabletop, I'm trying to choose my words correctly to capture this feeling. The Battlemaster is not as scary as, say, the Stalker, in that the Stalker gets put down on the table and you immediately take notice of it. It's you have to either deal with it if you're fighting against it, or if you're utilizing it, you know it's going to be the centerpiece of your strategy. The Stalker just keeps on moving ahead. Compare that to the Battlemaster. I find that the Battlemaster is really an anchor point type mech. It has longevity. Its damage output isn't alpha, meaning it runs up, say like the Grasshopper. Grasshopper runs up close and point blank unloads everything and then starts punching and kicking. It deals a lot of damage at a very, very close range in that cluster. Or say the alpha of, in theory, more of a long range, like the longbow, right? Just kind of raining down LRMs at you from a long distance. The Battlemaster does a little bit with the PPC on the way in, and then it switches over to the medium lasers, and then when appropriate, the short-range missile packs on there. It's not like it's got 5, 6, 7 medium lasers. The PPC, eventually you got to manage heat, so I feel like that's a long-range weapon to medium, and then when you close into the medium lasers, you're going to switch to that. So if the Battlemaster doesn't have the alpha, the role of it on the table is this idea of an anchor mech, where you want to essentially shut off a part of the gaming table, either by forcing your opponent to move up to that point and stop, almost like a shield wall, or if I want to refuse flank and say, look, I just don't want to deal with my opponent coming on this side of the table or this area or moving through this pass of hills or mountains, then I'm going to move the Battlemaster and put it in that position. It has the weaponry to consistently fire every turn, so its damage output is consistent. It certainly has the armor to sit there and trade a few blows. There's this kind of building pulse in Battletech where you start taking damage and you start to do the calculations in your mind. How long can I stay? Can I stay another round or two and deal out some damage and take some damage, or kind of like, well, how many turns until I start going to internals and the danger there? Obviously, the greater the mech, the heavier the mech, the longer you can stay. The Battlemaster has the armor to allow you to wait it out. Or if you want to slug it out with someone, to really go 2, 3, or 4 turns before you have to start worrying about going to internals. So it has that consistency. It has that armor. Speed is okay for its weight class. It also now has the physical attacks on it. And what sets it apart, meaning, punching, kicking, charging, slamming, all that type of stuff. The final piece where I feel it really works as an anchor mech, and this is kind of hit or miss with how you're going to use it, based not so much on your playstyle, but how it works with your opponent. The 2 medium lasers in the rear. We're talking about the stock Battlemaster on there. That's pretty decent. So if someone's going to try and outflank you or get a hovercraft behind you or utilize something from there, you've got some answers from behind. If someone's going to try and surround you as this anchor point, you have an answer from behind. So what this does is this allows you to still stay focused forward on the greatest threat, but those little light mechs or those vehicles from behind, the medium lasers actually threaten them. Not that I want to be sitting there taking any type of rear armor shots for 2 or 3 turns, but the Battlemaster allows you to get surrounded and at least have your opponent pay the price for it. In my mind, that is the power of the Battlemaster. Staying power, anchor point, using it to shut off parts of the gaming table, using it to slow down your opponent's lance while faster elements kind of move around or outflank and kind of get into position.